greetings, folks. Well, what a man and what a speech Donald Trump gave in his inauguration speech, and how symbolic it was for Donald Trump to use a Bible gifted to him by his late mother back in 1955, along with Lincoln's Bible, as part of the swearing in of his oath as President of the United States of America. You know, Donald Trump has sent a very clear message now to Europe, to America, and to the world, that he is going to take no nonsense and no bullshit. He's already said there's only two genders now recognised in America, male and female. God created man and God created woman. But what have we here in this country? We have Norma Foley there going on with her woke ideology nonsense, and 72 genders now we have in Ireland. 72 genders. And there we have the President of America saying there's only two genders. We are now hoping, as strong Irish supporters of you, Donald Trump, that you will set the precedent here now in Europe to get rid of this woke ideology nonsense from what's been taught in our schools to our innocent children. And look, we saw there yesterday, you know, Donald Trump, he signed in executive orders. The first executive order he signed in was undoing Biden's actions. The second one was addressing the cost of living crisis. And the third one was the withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty. Donald Trump also granted presidential pardons to some 1,500 hostages convicted of offences related to storming the US Capitol on the 6th of June in 2021. But you didn't see this on RTE, where the NYPD Emerald Society of Pipes and Drums played and performed in Capitol Hill with the Irish tricolour along with the American flag, you know, entertaining the crowds, you know, in Capitol Hill during the inauguration ceremony yesterday. Very proud to see that. Look, one thing Donald Trump now is, you know, he has sent shockwaves now through Ireland in relation to the economic shock that's going to happen now in Ireland. Look, we can blame no one now, only the likes of Simon Harris for calling Donald Trump a ghoul, and from Micheál Martin and all the political leaders, and for, you know, who didn't like Donald Trump and made no bones about it, and now have egg on their face because of the carnage now that's going to come. And I keep saying it, while they're putting together another cobbled together Irish government, you know, held by, you know, what I believe people that are profiteering, the likes of the Healy-Rae cartel dynasty, who've destroyed our country and culture in Kerry, our tourism, by, you know, bringing in all these iPass centres into our lovely tourist county. And, you know, to the likes of Michael Lowry in Tipperary, where a file has been sent to the DPP in relation to him. Donald Trump would have no time for these, what I believe and what I call them, Freemasons, who are only profiteering at the expense of you and me, the Irish taxpayers. Look, I'm meeting great young people there on a weekly basis. I mean, I've met fabulous young people who can't afford now to go to Australia because they don't have the money to go, and they want to go because they see no future in this country. We need to start looking after our young people. There are young people in this country aged 24 and 25 years of age who are homeless, and because they have the initiative to get up and work in the morning and, you know, work for probably 400, 500 euros a week, this government have failed. They can't afford, you know, to rent a house. They can't afford to get on the property ladder. They can't, you know, we have neglected our young people who are the future of this country, and this needs to stop. And look, it was very reassuring yesterday when I found out that Elon Musk now is sending his top legal team to the UK to help Tommy Robinson to be released from jail. And I suppose the biggest thing I learned yesterday is, you know, Donald Trump didn't invite any Irish government officials to his inauguration yesterday. And why would he, after what they've said about him? But, you know, he is a very astute man, Donald Trump, and he is watching everything that's going on in every country in the world, and he knows who's rooting for him. And, you know, I believe it will take the likes of Donald Trump to put manners on the Micheál Martin, that traitor Helen McEntee, who is the worst minister for justice ever in the history of the States, in my opinion. And that is in my opinion, and I'm entitled to free speech under An Bunreacht, our Irish constitution. And, you know, we have a lot to learn from what happened yesterday in Capitol Hill as a country. You see towns like Clonmel being destroyed now, with all these modular homes being shipped in at 5 o'clock in the morning, and with, you know, lorries, you know, and their number plates hidden and taken off. And like, how does McMahon haulage company, how does he sleep at night thinking of all the carnage he's doing by helping and assisting the government in bringing these modular homes into beautiful towns in Ireland to destroy their communities, when our own Irish, 15,000 people Irish, are homeless? This is a disgrace. But look, when I was up in Knock on Sunday, you know, we've reached the lowest of the low, when our Catholic Church won't even stand up for the Knock and Mayo people and for the people of this country in what's been done. Yes, they're, you know, in my opinion, they're facilitating the profiteering of what's going on by these Freemason politicians that are in government. So look, I'm hoping that Donald Trump now will come and listen to the people of Ireland who actually care about their country, and, you know, will understand very clearly what's going on from the top of the corruption down. I mean, to think, you know, the government now is going to be propped up by the likes of Michael Lowry and the Healy-Rae Cardell dynasty. Doesn't that just sum it up now? And, you know, there's Michael Lowry with a file being sent to the DPP, and there's the Healy-Rae Cartel dynasty now giving them a more powerful mandate in this country, where they can profiteer from the 32 counties now in Ireland, not just from Kerry. So look, Irish people, we need to wake up. But look, folks, I'm asking you again, anyone that gave me any vote in the general election, because I am on to something serious here. I believe this general election was rigged. I want to find out where my votes went, and I'm on a mission to do this, and I won't stop until I get justice for this, because this is a democracy, and I spent a year of my life canvassing to get elected, and not for my votes to get missing, and I'm going to get to the root of it. So if anyone else voted for me, pop me an email to info@michellekeane.ie along with your name and the polling station that you voted in, the booth number, and what vote you gave me. Because, you know, this corruption needs to stop. This whole voting system in Ireland needs an overhaul, big time. And, you know, I'm out to find my votes, and I'm asking ye, the great people of Kerry, to help me on my mission. Look, I, Michelle Keane, am keen on our country, and I'm imploring now with anyone that knows any connection with Donald Trump to get him over to Ireland to Doonbeg and meet with the ordinary Irish people who will tell him the truth of what's happening in this country. Gora Mila Mahagav.